How's it going, Jays? My name is MelizaJay, and today is another episode of Macabre MelizaJay Mondays. And so in this episode, I will be reading a ebook on BookTrack. BookTrack is an app that has ebooks, obviously, and they're like these short little stories. There's freaking whole variety. There's in different languages. Yeah, I'd recommend you to check it out because it's really cool, and there are really good stories on there. And yeah, let's get to this. So today I will be reading Mary, which is a horror story. So yeah, let's get on with this. Oh, and before I actually play the screen music in the background, just make sure that this isn't my music, so no copyright intended. Not my music. It's not my music, okay? Obviously. No. So yeah, no copyright intended with the music. Yeah, let's get on with this. I hope you guys can hear the music. Club pulled the safety straps tight and kissed her daughter on the head. All set? She asked with a smile. Emma quirked in the car seat and frowned. No, mammy. I don't know how to read that little girl. I don't know how to voice act that. Anyways, no, Mama. Mary doesn't want us to go home. Is that so? Claire rolled her eyes at her daughter's new doll. Clumsy-looking ragdoll with brown hair, orange honey eyes, a green paisley dress, and oversized arms and legs that flopped like giant noodles. She'd been a gift from Claire's mother, and now she was already causing trouble. Claire planted her fist in her hips. Now listen here, Mary. We're done with the market. No, it's time to go. Got it? Emma giggled. Mama, you're silly. That's the best I could do. Claire closed I can't read. Claire closed the book of bedtime stories and set it up into its place on the shelf. She said, tapping a finger against her lips. What comes next? Tuck me in. Emma laughed, flapping her hands under her arms under sheets. She don't know what I think she's doing. Nasty little children these days. Oh, that's right, tuck you in so you don't fall off bed, she said, as she stuffed the covers under Emma's shoulders and hips. There, all tucked in, okay? Okay, Emma agreed. Okay, good night. She went to the door and turned off the light. Wait, Emma cried. Good night kiss. Oh, I almost forgot, Claire said. She flipped the light back on. She crossed back to the bed and gave Emma a series of wet kisses on her lips, cheek, and her forehead. Okay then, anything else? Mary wants a kiss too, Emma said. Claire smirked. Okay, a good night kiss for Mary. She leaned down and kissed Emma's doll. Now, is there anything else? No, how dare it stop? How you dare? No, it exited. Hold up. Okay, it's on the same page. Mary wants a kiss. Okay, Mary wants a kiss too, Emma repeated. Claire shook her head and sighed. So it was going to be that kind of night. She kissed the doll again. Anything else? Mary wants a kiss, Emma said. Okay, but last one, Claire warned. She gave the doll one more kiss on his little plastic head, then stood up and went to the door. Good night, sweetheart. She clicked off the light and closed the door. She was a bit of a handful today, Miss Judy frowned. She wasn't acting up exactly, but she wouldn't follow any instructions. Claire sighed. I'm sorry. She looked over Miss Judy's shoulder and at her daughter. sitting quietly on the rug. Things have been a little hectic at home lately. Femi's dad gone. I'm just trying to keep up. She smiled weakly. Oh God. Understand your plot, Miss Garner. But I hope that you understand we have quite a lengthy waitlist for enrollment, and it's filled with children who prize obedience. I know. I'm just sure she's having an off day. Claire bit her lip. I considered her a child. She's been acting strange at home as well, moody and sullen. She's only 4 years old, she said aloud, more to herself than to Miss Judy. Never too early to breed poor habits. Claire collected her daughter and carried out to the car. What's up, pumpkin? She asked, settling into her seat. Are you sad today? Emma breathed deeply and kicked her little feet. Mm-hmm. What's wrong? She lifted her eyes, her sad green eyes, and whispered, Mary doesn't like you. Claire closed her book and set it on the table just as Emma padded into the living room. All set for bed? Teeth brushed? Emma tilted her head and clutching her doll tightly around the neck. Mary doesn't want you sleeping in her room, she said. Claire frowned. What do you mean? Mary sleeps in your room. Emma shook her head. She doesn't sleep in my room. She sleeps downstairs. Claire leaned forward and pinched her daughter's cheek. We don't have it downstairs, silly goose. It's just dirt under there. Emma turned and padded back out of her room. I know. Claire silently closed her bedroom door and shifted the phone to her shoulder. Yeah, I can talk, she said quietly. Emma's asleep. What's going on? Her sister demanded from the other side of the line. You sounded upset in your message. I am upset, she hissed. She's acting weird. It's starting to scare me. What do you expect, Claire? She's a toddler. Her sister, who had no children of her own, was ever the expert. I'm so conceited while reading this. How many toddlers say, Mommy, my doll wants to set you on fire? Silence from the other end of the phone. Do you think that's normal behavior? Sister sighed. Have you talked to anybody? A therapist? She has an appointment for first day. Well, there you go. They'll probably tell you they see this in children all the time. That's no big deal. Kids say weird things, Claire Bear. It's what they do. Bill Cosby practically made a cure out of it. Okay? Claire frowned. I hope you're right. Talk to the doctor. It'll be okay. Claire hung up and pressed her phone to her chest. Deep in thought. Maybe her sister was right. She was overreacting. Emma couldn't know what it meant to burn someone alive. Oh, what the fuck? She probably heard it on television, on one of those awful news shows. Claire wiped her tears from her eyes and placed the phone on a cradle by the bed. She turned back to her door and screeched. Just like that scream that scared me to death. Emma stood in the doorway, unblinking. Oh, I'm sorry, Emma. Sweetie, you scared me. What's wrong? Did you have a bad dream? Emma looked up at her mother, her eyes grave. Mary's dead. And she wants you to be dead, too. It's unusual, but it's not altogether uncommon, Dr. Matthews explained. Emma's adding, you... Fine. Emma's at an age where her imagination maintains total control over her reality. She might be picking up these things up on television, on radio, from daycare. They can be troubling, but it's important to recognize the fact that she's a sweet child, and utterly without the means to fall through on these, well, let's call them ideas. Claire kneaded her hands together, eyeing Emma in the corner of the room. I spend time with other mothers, and their children don't behave like this. They don't say these things. That you know of, the doctor pointed out. They're likely not to tell you, if they do. Now, you say this will start once you receive this doll. Mary, she calls it. I don't even know where she got that name, she said with a small, humorous laugh. It's like I don't know anything about my own daughter. What goes through her head? Claire sighed. She says it's Mary who says these awful things. Should I take the doll away? Oh, I wouldn't advise that. She's using Mary as a conduit of fault. Testing the limits by letting Mary say these things that are new to her. To see if they're safe to say. It's healthy, really. Letting her have that outlet. Taking the doll might only serve to confuse her and send her into a milder depression of sorts. Mary buried her face in her hands. So what do I do? She asked through her fingers. The doctor shrugged. She strided out. But remember, she's only a child. She can't hurt you. Well, fuck you. I'm so scared. Scary. I'm usually not scared of these kind of stories because I love them and I write them. Sorry, I'm going to continue. Cosetta can't speak. Claire sat at her computer, clacking away at the keyboard. With all the visits to all the different doctors, she'd fallen behind at work and had taken catching up late at night. As she sat typing, the door creaked open behind her. She looked at the clock on her computer. Emma, what are you doing? She asked, finishing up a sentence in her email. It's after midnight. She turned and jumped up from chair. Emma, how did you get that knife? She squeaked, her voice tight with terror. The carving knives were kept up on the cabinet far off Emma's reach. The girl held up the knife up, the blade facing out to her mother. Mary wants to cut your neck. I don't know what else to do, Claire whispered, her shoulders heaving with her tears. It's that doll. Emma says she's dead, and she wants me dead, and she wants to cut my throat. She's walking around with knives, and I don't. She broke down into having sobs. The nurse put an arm around her shoulder. It's going to be okay. I've handled this sort of thing before. Claire shook her head and wiped her eyes. This morning, I woke up as she was standing over my bed with a sharp piece of a vase she broke. She said, Mary wants to carve you up. How does a 4-year-old even know what carving up someone is? She was shaking now, uncontrollably. Her brain felt cottony and numb around the edges. I can't speak. Damn it, let me get a freaking drink of water. She was shaking now, uncontrollably. That just made it worse. She was shaking now, uncontrollably. Fuck that word. Sorry. Her brain felt cottony, numb around the edges, and she wondered idly if she was going into shock. What else can I do? The nurse patted her on the arm. You're doing the right thing. ECT isn't what it used to be. It's not a procedure out of a Hall movie. They just send little waves into her brain and try to kickstart things a bit. See if we can reset whatever's causing the problem. We do it 100 times a year. It's perfectly safe. Claire shook her head. How did it get to this? How did I become a mother who signs away her daughter to an electroshock therapy? Electroconvulsive therapy, the nurse corrected her. It's not a shock, and she'll be sedated. She won't feel a thing. An orderly peeked his head through the door. Miss Garner? Claire nodded. We're all set in here, so you can go home if you'd like. You can visit tomorrow, and she'll be released in 3 days. Claire nodded. She turned to go. Oh, one more thing, the orderly said. He came for the door and held up Emma's doll. Doctors don't like the patient to have objects on hand that remind them of their day-to-day. You should take her doll with you. Claire picked up doll by her shoulders. Her round, raggedy face beamed up at Claire, her wide orange eyes staring, unseeing. This was Mary who wanted her dead. This was the Mary who threatened her with knives. She dropped the doll into the trash can and pushed her way out of the clinic. I don't understand. People told me she wouldn't have a doll, Claire said, using the phone. She pressed her free hand to her temple and rubbed it hard. Yes, during the procedures, it's important not to have any elements at home at hand, but she's through the main series of treatments now. She's allowed a personal item or two. She's asking for her doll, Sally. Her doll's name is Mary, Claire said, closing her eyes. But we don't have her anymore. Good riddance. There was a buzz of static on the line while the nurse checked her notes. Maybe we're talking about different dolls, she said repeatedly, even though the first round of ECT she asked for a doll, calling her Sally. Claire sighed. It must be another doll. Which was just fine by her. In a way, it was silly. She knew ludicrous. It was just a doll. In a way, she couldn't shake the feeling that Mary had been the one responsible for the change in her daughter. Did she tell you what it looked like? It's the one she brought into the hospital, said the nurse. The rag doll with brown hair, a green dress. Claire shook her head. You're mistaken. That's her doll. That's Mary. I don't... Hello? Hello? Mary looked down at the phone. The line got dead. Great. Criddle was back in the office. Okay, hold up. I'm freaking scared. I know something's going to happen now. Oh no. Considering that I've read this before. The Criddle was back in the office. She turned to go investigate and screamed when she saw a woman in the doorway. I'm so scared, guys. Claire fell to the floor and scrabbled backward until she hit the wall. The woman shuffled forward, long, dirty hair clouded with mud and grime. Her pleated face faded and eaten away in patches. Her freaking dress was faded and eaten away in patches. Sorry for my mistake. Her face was pinched and dry. Beneath her swaying curtain of hair, and she smelled of mushrooms and rot. Her stench filled the room. Get out of my house, Claire whimpered. Get out of my house. Okay. Joking, she doesn't say that. The woman snarled, showing a row of yellow pointed teeth. She took another step forward, her bare feet creaking on the floorboards. Claire scrambled for something, anything, to use as a weapon. But anything heavy or sharp had been removed, for Emma's sake. Who are you? Claire whispered, voice trembling. The woman drew closer. She leaned down, and Claire could see the worms crawling beneath her cheeks and smell her stale breath. The woman slipped the carving knife out from behind her back as she drew the sharp edge across Claire's throat. She whispered, Hey, Mary. Okay, so that was freaking epic. I love this story to death. One of my favorite horror stories. Best thing ever. The rating is PG-13. Parents strongly cautioned, but apparently, I don't know. I get to read horror stories. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I love horror stories. It's just a part of my life. And so overall rating from 555 reads is 4.6 stars. I rated it 5 stars because it's so fabulous. So fabulous. anyways, I hope you love this so as much I love it. That didn't make sense, but I don't care because I can't speak that good in English. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. And remember, stay fabulous. Stay fabulous. Yeah, how about them apples? Stay fabulous. Oh, and anyways, this author who created this is called Clayton Smith, the creator of Mary. And it's so fab. Just go and tell you that. Yeah, stay fabulous. Stay fabulous.